What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss this Saturday's fight between Daniel Barez versus Gurule. But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. Two fighters with their backs against the wall, coming off of losses, right? That's what I feel like most of this card is going to be. You have a lot of guys with their backs against the wall, coming off of L's. I really feel like the story of these, at least especially these early prelims, loser goes home. That's what I feel like the UFC is trying to do. They're trying to trim a little bit of the fat. I think over the past, honestly, like 8 years, we have seen them sign guys left and right. The whole Contender Series, but even before that, like I remember when the early prelims were only on the Fight Pass, and it was probably only 2 fights. Now it's a guaranteed 4 fights to start, 4, and usually 5. And I feel like they should really go back to their old root ways of 2 fights to open up on the early prelims, and then do 4, and then do 5. I like the fact that they're kind of putting these lower level guys on this lower level card, hopefully trimming some of the fat and getting rid of some of the people that, are not really what we call UFC caliber, right? Starting with Daniel Barez, 37 years old. He is 17-7, but his style is definitely UFC friendly. A technical kickboxer, goes for the finish, built like a brick shit house, has great power, good kicks, good combinations. A do or die style of fighter, but also has pretty good submissions off of his back, not off of his back. Good submissions, arm triangles. I was thinking of triangle. He has a couple good arm triangle submissions in his arsenal as well. So he has the ability to kind of mix it up when he needs to. But my concern here is he does kind of start to fade if he is not able to get that first round finish. He's a big guy, fast twitch muscle, and he really goes, he doesn't really have much of a feeling out process. He really just kind of likes to get going. And here against Gurule, who's on a 3-fight losing streak, right? Starting into the UFC, the win off the Contender Series. It was a split decision victory, but he was in the UFC at 10-0, but has since riding a 3-fight losing streak. But it's a pretty good competition, right? Ode Osborne, Jesus Aguilar, most recently All in Korea. I was at the airport for that fight. I don't necessarily remember all of that fight, but what I do remember, he was just being outpaced. He was being outpointed. He was kind of a step behind. And his UFC debut against Ode Osborne, that's a tough fight, right? Like that's kind of a tough outing for anybody. That guy has extremely fast hands. He's explosive. You don't really know what's going to come from him, especially in the first 10 minutes of any of his fights. And he did get stopped in the second round of that fight, and just where he just was a little bit stuck in the mud. He couldn't really move very well, and just couldn't get his head off the center line off of a guy who's so accurate in Ode Osborne. But on a 3-fight losing streak, your back's against the wall, right? You have to do something. So at 32 years old, a 3-fight losing streak, Louis got to do something. But against Daniel Barez, who's also going to fucking bring it, built like a brick shit house, I'm going to go Barez on this one. And I'm not crazy, confident, but I think that at the end of the day, his losses have been to pretty good grapplers in Andre Lima, Jafel Filio. He's fought pretty good dudes who he has lost to. And I don't think Gurule is on that level. So I think we're going to see a Daniel Barez knockout win. Not super confident, but I'm going to go with that. Guys, love to hear your guys' thoughts on this fight. Do you got Gurule? Do you have Barez? And why? Love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's going to do it for today. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.